Hey guys, hi Aquarius, welcome back to my channel, Starkidignited. This is going to be a reading for Aquarius for the month of May. My readings are always timeless, so whenever you feel drawn to watch this video is the right time for you to receive its messages. Yeah, awesome. And this is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, and we also do North Node. So if you have Aquarius in any of those placements, or if you're a cross watcher, welcome. Yeah, so let's jump straight into it. This will be part one. Part two will be on Patreon at the $10 a month tier level. So I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be really fun getting to dive in and clarify a bit more of what we're talking about today. Okay, so let's get... What is the first message that we would like to discuss with Aquarius? What is the highest and best message? Okay, Aquarius, so awesome. So we have a card. I can see that you may have been spending a lot of time with the moon cycles, or something that's going on in your life is aligning with the moon cycles, whether you're aware of them or not. We are in an eclipse right now. So that was the Scorpio lunar eclipse that just happened, so the full moon in Scorpio, and then we also had the new moon in Aries at the 29th degree. So really that would have been very close to Taurus, and the North Node was in Taurus. What we'll experience over the next 2 weeks is that eclipse cycle wrapping up. So this may have something to do with the moon, whatever you're working on at the moment. We also have... It looks like you've been really getting into your feminine energy. You've been contacting the goddess within. There's been a lot of guidance, really spending time on the sacred rather than on the more mundane levels of things, Aquarius. We also have... Awesome. And so there's been a need for you guys to almost be adrift at this time, to let go and allow a higher force to take charge, so to move you where you're supposed to go. This can be a very triggering or unsettling time period in our life when we're needing to just surrender and allow spirit or allow our higher selves to take us where we need to be. And I can also see what this is leading to is further development in your intuition. I think that you're working on your spiritual side, you're working on your gifts, and this is something that we can see come through. There's a lot of spiritual support here and a lot of encouragement to continue to open that spiritual side of yourself, but while also staying a bit flexible. So staying in a position where you're able to just go with the flow and let your higher self and spirit take you somewhere that you need to go, that your physical eyes may not be able to tell right now. As we are in that eclipse cycle as well, things may not be completely settled until the next 2 weeks. As we've just had the lunar full moon, then there's 2 weeks until we have our next new moon. So we will feel the culmination of this energy in a week when we hit the last quarter moon, which is a square to the full moon. So there'll be some potential challenges or just tension that needs to be worked out from something that you have discovered on the Scorpio lunar eclipse, where something was illuminated and there was a recognition that something needs to be released. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to Aquarius. So yeah, there's a lot of spiritual energy, but also a lot of surrender energy and connection to forces outside yourself. So if you had any questions, we have a yes. So yes to whatever you're thinking. We also have opportunity and change and harmony and resolution. So it looks like there's been a lot of new things that have been offered to you at this time. You may have had to be a bit self-reliant and needing to go off on yourself, by yourself, to get these opportunities and to create this change that you've been seeking. But I can see from the cards that it is bringing harmony and resolution. So something is coming, something's coming together that you've been working really hard on. So that's awesome to feel. Okay. So Spirit, what's been going on with Aquarius that you'd like to draw their attention to? there any challenges that Aquarius has been facing? Spirit, what challenges has Aquarius been facing that you'd like to assist with? Okay, awesome. And we have, so there's a massive encouragement here to do what you love. A time of great personal growth in your career or artistic endeavors, working with others in a cooperative manner. So it looks like you definitely have been tapping into something bigger than yourself. You've been trying to push past your comfort zone and create change and create something for yourself that feels more in harmony and alignment with your authentic self. What I can see here is that there's a massive encouragement to do this. Just go after it. Try and spend as much time as you can doing the things that actually light you up and make you feel like, wow, I love this. I just want to do this. And also working with others. So as you step into this, you may actually find that there are more people who are able to assist you. You might find that people are coming out of the woodwork to offer you advice or help or resources, or even just to help you get to that next step. So there's a lot of trust in the universe that I'm feeling from this. But Spirit's really encouraging you that, yeah, to do what you love, and this is a great time. You may have been challenged by others to kind of stick to the status quo, to not make waves, to, you know, just not do, you know, you might have been talked out of what you actually like, or when you try to express it to other people, they don't really get it. But what Spirit is saying is do what you love. You're onto something. Yes. Don't doubt yourself, and I'm sure something wonderful is going to happen from this. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So there's definitely been a wrapping up of old chapters. Something's ended. You've just known that, like, okay, I need to wake up. I need to look at things objectively and decide where I'm going with this, what I want from it, and starting on that path, starting a new life. Awesome. And we also have the Chariot here, so even more support for harnessing both sides of yourself, the good and the bad, the earthly and the spiritual, and using them together to go somewhere, to move forward, to get something done. Solutions. Awesome. And so it looks like you're having a lot of success. Self-control and determination and patience have been a big part of this. As I said earlier, you may not have that much support in your everyday life for this endeavor. It looks like you're really having to go alone and push forward with the things that you want to do, and there might not be that much support for you right now, but there is a very forgiving and healing energy coming through for you. So it looks like Spirit's really got your back. They're really proud of you. They're really happy for everything that you've been able to accomplish. Yeah, and make sure that you're not over-analyzing a problem. So if you do have a decision to make, the quickest antidote to anxiety is just making a decision. Whether it's right or wrong, you know, calmly sit with yourself, feel what feels right, and then make that decision. Even if you realize in 2 weeks, like, okay, maybe that wasn't the best decision, the fact that you made a decision and you tried, you learned something. You got out of your comfort zone. You're more resilient for it, rather than just sitting in the background and waiting and seeing what will happen. Awesome. We have so many major arcana cards here of just saying like Judgment, the Chariot, and Temperance. So yeah, really, like, something's ended, you're moving forward, and it's creating this perfect balance, this place where you feel aligned. Your heart and your emotions and your physical self are feeling more in alignment. Okay. All right. So Spirit, what is Aquarius's higher self advice for this time? That was quick. Powerful psychic insights, reflection and meditation that provides valuable information, and be at peace. A positive new emotional experience, fulfilling romantic relationships, deep and lasting spiritual insights. And congratulations, you've done a wonderful job. Time to move on to the next project, awards, scholarships, or promotions. So trust your intuition. That's a really big thing your higher self is trying to come through to you with. Taking more time for reflection and meditation, just to really allow yourself to feel everything that you've been doing, how far you've come. Just really feeling into your own energy and noticing, is it different than it was 2 weeks ago? Have you evolved? Have you changed? Is there new relationships, or is there new emotional experiences that you're now seeking now that you've gotten more clarity and more understanding about yourself? And I think your higher self is also just wanting to support you right now and say that, yes, you've done a wonderful job. It looks like the odds have been against you. It hasn't been easy. You've had to listen to your intuition. You've had to do things that, you've had to rely on the messages that you're getting. You've had to, coming back to being adrift, like really needing to surrender your ego, surrender your fear. Like, it's not easy to jump out of our comfort zone. It's not easy to get something done, especially when we feel really emotionally activated. But your higher self is reminding you that you are a high priestess, you are a seer, you're someone who, when you tap into that innate wisdom, you know what you're doing, you know what you want, and your higher self's reminding you to do this, to take the time to really go within, listen to the messages that you're receiving, and also be open to this new relationship, be open to new love, whether it's even just friendship, it could be a partner, it could be anything, but it's just about believing and hoping that those things are possible, getting into that energy again of possibility, of what could be around the corner. The Scorpio energy really wants to cut off all those past psychological fixations, all that trauma, all that, like messy pain that we tend to hold on to and bring up and like bring into our most valuable and tender relationships. That is what's asking to be cut off, to die. So it doesn't happen easily or quickly, especially for Aquarians. Like, you're the sign of the collective almost. So it's like the 11th house represents our dreams, our wishes, our goals. It has a very humanitarian feel to it. So if something in the past with love hasn't gone the way that you wanted, and potentially, I feel like that Aquarian energy is very good at understanding the other side, logically. Like, it understands, and so it doesn't take things as personally as maybe some other signs, because they have that, like, I'm willing to be I'm willing to put my ego aside to be a part of something bigger, to achieve a bigger dream. That's very Aquarius. And it looks like that could also obviously affect relationships, where we're not as affected as potentially someone else is, when something happens, and because we can kind of do that objective thinking, as it was saying in your cards earlier. So I think that objective thinking gets you really far, just with True or Three. It really assists you in being able to strive towards your goals, not getting emotionally entangled in things. But what Spirit wants to remind you is that there is positive new emotional experiences. The things that you went through in the past, you don't have to go through again. You've learned, you've evolved, and as you move forward, it's important to kind of do a mental clearing of all that past emotional hurt, potentially any parts of ourselves that we couldn't feel at the time, that we kind of tried to bypass. It's important to take the time to really feel into those things, give ourselves some self-nourishment, and get into this state that a new emotional experience is just around the corner. Okay, so this is really interesting, Aquarius. I'm going to go further in detail with your love, money, and career in the extended. I hope to see you over there on Patreon.